What am I saying again?
This is MPW,
MPW.
the podcast
with your host, Xylo Aria.
Cool.
A podcast about music production
for the everyday musician,
where we learn from experienced studio engineers and each other.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to this episode of the MPW podcast. I'm your host, Xylo Aria, and today we are super lucky to be joined by Jeremy Backpack Miller. So Jeremy is a composer and artist, a multi-platinum producer from Georgia, and has credits with loads of amazing artists, including Eminem, Kevin Gates, Kid Ink, Lil Durk, and so many more. So thank you so much for joining us, Backpack. It's lovely to have you here. How's your day been so far?
Thank you for having me. My day has been great so far. It's the middle of the week, hump day, so I'm just ready to get through the week. How's your day?
Nice. It's early for me. It's 9 a.m., so it's just the start of my day. But a few things going on today, so keen to get stuck in, but great way to start the day with a chat with you. And today, of course, we are talking about building a network, because that's something that's super important in the industry that we're in, and we will jump into that. Before we do, though, I would love to hear a bit more about you and, where did the journey start for you, and how did you get to where you are today, and loads of achievements that you've had so far. So do you want to talk me through that in kind of a little summary format?
Okay, quick summary. I started playing piano in the church at 6 years old. I was self-taught, and then I took lessons around the age of 8. So I only took a year of piano lessons, and then from there I was self-taught. I took violin, I played bass, guitar. So I have somewhat of a musical background. And from there, after high school, I stopped playing instruments. I stopped dealing with music, and I began to party promote. And I got real good at throwing parties out here in Atlanta, Georgia, and booking the artists, and, having that one-on-one interaction with the artists let me see the inside of the music industry. I was invited to studio sessions after the club, and just partaking in after events with artists. And I'm like, okay, wow, entertainment is something that I like. I want to get involved in. And I won't say I stumbled into producing, but I found my way into the music industry by producing, and writing a few songs and just experimenting, and it's just been going good.
Nice. I love that. And so did you just kind of decide one day you were going to give producing a try, or was it, something you thought about a bit more than that? Or
I thought about it more than that. I gave it a try. Once artists started getting on my beats that I was making at home, I'm like, okay, this could go somewhere. And then when people started to offer money for the beats, I'm like, okay, let me figure out how this works. And that's when I started inquiring about publishing and how the industry works. And then it's just been, man, just getting involved more and more each day. I learn something new every day. So it's just, just hands-on more so than anything. It's no book or anything I can say I studied or I just watched a video. But yeah, just being hands-on, just trying something, just, going for it, setting my mind on something and going for it.
yeah, I love that. And especially the fact that you said, you're learning something new every day, and that's so important to know that your learning journey I guess it never really ends, does it? And there's always something new to explore and to learn.
Always. Like I said, every day I'm learning something. If it's not, coming across something online, I hear something, or just listening to music every day. Every day the music changes. It's like, oh, that's what's going on right now. That's what people like. Okay, let me listen to that more. Let me study that.
Awesome. And on that, I guess I was watching your documentary, and you mentioned when you kind of moved from Georgia and you went to LA to do some work, you almost had to study the music there to work out how is that different to what's in playing in Georgia, and kind of fit yourself to that scene. So tell me a little bit about that.
The West Coast, it was just a different experience altogether. The culture was different. The way people live and talk was different. They didn't sound like Southern people, and they didn't carry themselves like Southern people. So I had to, change the way I carried myself and how I interacted with people out there. I couldn't just I had to be myself, but it wasn't like home. Like I had to learn
Yeah.
that fast. Like, wait, this is not like home. Their studio hours was different. A lot of people like to work in the daytime in California. In Atlanta, it's the late night hours, 12 midnight to the early mornings. Like I don't know why they like to work so late, but in LA it was, man, all daytime studio sessions. They were done like by 7 o'clock. By this time they were in the house. Everybody was in the bed. It was nothing else to do. But yeah, that experience altogether was just different.
Okay. That's cool. That's cool. And I mean, one thing that you said there, that you had to be yourself, but you had to fit into kind of their industry. Have you ever felt like you lost who you are at, some point in the journey and had to find that again? Or have you been able to be really true to who you are all the way?
I would say a mix of all of that. Just losing myself, finding myself again, just being true to myself, But in the end, I stayed true to myself. But the industry is something that can take you, up and down.
Yeah.
Just the way you perceive things or receive things. You see a lot of things that you not seen before or have experienced before. And a lot of it for me was going through things by myself. So I didn't, have a management team, or I was going into it with, a producing partner, or a group of friends. It was a lot of experiences I had to endure by myself. So everything in the end helped and worked out. Yeah, just I can say every experience, whether it was bad or good, it right now it helped out. Like I can sit back and look at it and be like, okay, I learned that lesson from this and learned that, and I won't do it again if it was something bad, or like I won't do that
Yeah.
again, but it has helped me maneuver my way and position myself right now in the industry where, I'm like, okay, I learned a lot now when I sit back and look at it.
Yeah.
Like, wow, now I can say I'm a professional, producer or songwriter, or, or entertainer. Like I can say that because I've experienced it, not just the plaques and the, the accolades that come with it. I really gained that knowledge and experience from the industry to say, okay, yeah, I'm in the industry.
Yeah. Oh, most definitely. And yeah, I mean, so much good stuff there. And I feel like, I mean, we can chat a lot more about, your experience and kind of forget about our topic, but we'll get back to that a little bit. So networking. The word itself can mean so many different things to people. And I think some people shy away from it because they feel like it's this kind of scary thing, maybe like a bit of a dirty side to the word or something like that. But tell me, what does networking mean for you?
To me, networking is everything. Networking was or is my whole experience. Like I built my foundation off of networking, and I got that from throwing parties back in in my college days. Like just being out and about, passing flyers out and telling people like word of mouth. I'm like I begin to understand the power of networking. But what a lot of people don't know is that, man, half of my producer credits came from networking. Like they didn't come from A&R, or I sent it to the record label and the record label played it for the artist. No, it was somebody I knew that did it, or helped me get in position to make it happen, to get the beats to the artist. So I like I said, I built my foundation on networking, and networking is everything. And what one person told me that stuck with me was, your network is your net worth. And I'm like, okay, I get it. Yes, the people in your network is your value. That shows your value. That shows your true value of, who you are, and, the people you surround yourself with.
100%. Yeah. I've heard that before, and I remember the impact that it had on me as well. And I think for me anyway, when I heard that, it really made me assess the people that are in your close network that maybe, are always bringing things down, and, like just killing the energy, and you realize that that's really impacting you, as well as the people that are doing great and pulling you up and everything. So it sounds like it's been a huge part of your journey and your industry. And I guess you wouldn't be where you are without investing in that. And is there some way that you go about it? Or, I mean, is there a lot of thinking behind it, or has it been very kind of organic the way it's happened?
A little bit of both. Some, depending on the situation, some things happen organically, and then some situations have just been strategic. Maybe this person knows, maybe an artist or somebody I'm trying to get to, and I'm like, I have to build my trust up with them and build my friendship up with them, so they can trust me to, make a move like that, to get, help me get a beat somewhere, just being strategic, and not just that way, but any with anything. I always have to think about it first, and then
Yeah.
position myself.
Yeah, no, that's great. And it's good to hear that as well, because I think some people maybe don't realize that, there's a lot of thinking behind everything. Like, things don't just happen by accident for people. And it's good for people to be aware of that. And another thing that you mentioned before about everything that happened with you has been through your network and kind of through someone that and you didn't have an A&R or anything like that. So what do you have to say for people that, because one thing that I've heard a lot is that people just like, I'm not doing well because I don't have a manager, and they feel like they're waiting for this person to just discover them and like pull them up. Like, what do you have to say to that person?
I hear that a lot as well, and like I said, for the first uh, few years of my career, no manager, no team, and I would tell anybody, you got to believe in yourself first. And second, a manager is somebody that's there to manage the situation that you have. So you have to create a situation. You have to make people interested in what you're trying to do, or perceive, or whatever you're going after. If you have to create something first for them to come along, and I guarantee they will come along as soon as you get something going. No matter if it's a fan, a manager, you're gonna get whatever you're looking for, like the money, everything, once you get it going. So you got to focus on yourself, and just build yourself and brand up first, and then you will attract that. But sometimes people do need that help first. And if you got somebody that believes in you as much as you believe in yourself, then hey, you can pursue a situation like that first, and then you and your manager build up something from the ground up. But yeah, you got to believe in yourself first, and then it everything you want it will come to you. You will attract it.
Yeah. Cool. That's great. And uh, let's talk a little bit about first contact. Like, you feel like there's someone that you would really like to reach out to. How do you go about making that first contact with that person?
Just making sure it's the right time, making sure it's the right environment first before you approach them, because sometimes that person could be right in your face, and if it's not the right time or right environment, you can't make that situation go any further than that. And It sucks, but you just got. It's just about time and just being patient, just waiting, and like I said, just believing in something and letting it come to you more so than chasing it. Just let it come to you. Focus on it, but let it come to you.
Yeah, I love that. There's something almost kind of spiritual about that, you know, just kind of letting it come to you, and about, you know, the timing being right. And this is something that I've heard from other people before as well, that like forcing yourself and, you know, pushing yourself into rooms where maybe you're not really invited to doesn't really help the situation either.
I see that a lot, a lot,
Yeah.
a lot. I mean, just especially with social media, how quickly you can just DM somebody and hey, that's your friend now, and people think they're in a better position or they
Yeah.
have gotten somewhere just because they made contact with somebody, but that's
Yeah.
through a DM or any something, but that still doesn't mean anything. You still have to put in their work and
Mm.
build up that trust,
Mm.
that connection. It just has to be nurtured, just like
Yeah.
a plant. Anything, it has to be nurtured first before it grows and just turns
Yeah.
into something beautiful. It just has to be worked on first.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I love that. And that kind of brings us really nicely to the next question, which is, how do you nurture these relationships? You know, because sometimes maybe you've met someone and you both feel like there's something really great that you can do together, but then, you know, things happen, life gets in the way, or like you're both working on numerous things, and then that just can kind of die or kind of lose focus. So how do you keep those contacts up and so that you can build on them in the future?
Out just making sure that the person is okay outside of music, just befriending them outside of music. If it's just hanging out for lunch or just hanging out, just not doing
Mm.
music, just doing something else, hanging out in the
Yeah,
gym,
yeah,
like
yeah.
just taking our focus off of music just helps us
Mm.
stay connected, and then hey, maybe we do need to just book some studio time because we have both been busy and we might just
Mm.
connect there and just work on some music
Mm.
that day. And that's how I keep it going. Just I know I'm a Gemini and I'm just so forgetful. I just be working so much that I have to do things like that to with my friends to just make sure, hey guys, I haven't forgotten you, and hey,
Mm.
they're not going to say anything to me because they're like, hey, he's so busy, man. I'll just wait on him. So I'll go book some studio time and call up everybody, and we'll meet up at the studio like it's a party, but we're making music. We'll
Yeah.
have everybody in there, 6 7 people, and we're just hanging out for making music and catching up on things. But it's just
Mm.
so important that you do things like that. Just like I said, even if it's not in the studio, just hanging out for lunch, just grabbing a bite or a
Mm.
drink or something, just making sure everybody is mentally okay and physically still good.
Yeah, yeah. And you know, one thing that you said about you know, getting in the studio and it's like a bit of a party and you're kind of making music. Are there maybe different styles of working where some people, you know, just want to kind of get down to business and be making something, or because also I guess for some people you're paying for that studio time, you know, and it's not something that you can just maybe hang out or have the ability to do that. Do like, is there a balance that you look for, or you just don't really think about it? How does that work for you?
I personally really don't think about it. I have been in sessions where it is just straight to work, where I got to come in, play my beat for 30 minutes, and that's it. I'm out. But if it's a
Mm.
session where I have time, I'm the life of the party. Y'all gotta move around. We gotta talk, interact. I mean, that's all a part of the creating the process, making
Yeah.
the music and interacting. I want to know what's going on, where you from.
Mm.
I want to get to know, what's going on. And to me, that's how I connect with the artists and create the best music possible. I know what I can hear what you're going through, and I might have been going through that same issue or something similar, and made beats at that time that you might can relate to. Like that's how I look at it. Like I might have been going through a time like that, and made a certain amount of beats that just can relate to the artist. And for me, that's been working. That's how I stay connected. Just having a party in the studio, and I don't mean like a party, but just interacting, being up, like not just sitting, in your chairs and just sitting back, just like not saying anything. Like, no, I want everybody to be up and moving around. If you need something to eat, something to drink, hey, kick back, be comfortable, and be you. So, hey, like I said, if you is straight business and you just want to hear beats, no talking, cool, I'm fine with that. But I like to have a good time when I'm working.
Yeah, for sure. And talking about, reaching out to different people, maybe rejection can be a big part of that as well, like either maybe just the person doesn't get back to you or whatever it is that that you might have to deal with, which some people are just maybe so fearful of that they don't even try to reach out to people. What are your thoughts on that?
We have our good days, we have our bad days, just as creatives, period. It's just gonna be those days where we hit or miss. And it's
Yeah.
okay to miss because you're eventually going to hit. So it's okay if they don't hit you back or you don't get that email, that call. Like we
Yeah.
have all been through it. We're humans. Like not everything is not going to going to go the way that we think in our heads. Like it never goes that way. So you got to keep trying. You got to keep swinging until you finally hit that one home run, because that's all it takes is one. No matter what it is you're doing, it just takes that one to pop off for you, and it's on. So you got to keep trying, and it's just a part of the process. I've been told no so many times, man, and I mean I posted that on Instagram one time. Like all it took was that one yes, and look, I'm here now. All those no's though, like I heard so many no's, man, from working a job. I never thought, I would quit my job and just do music full time. They always told me, no, that's not going to work. No, that's not going to work. But hey, that one yes, like I said, one yes. So you just gotta keep trying and believing, and just don't listen to negativity. If you believe in yourself, listen to criticism, take it in, but keep moving, keep pushing.
For sure, for sure. And yeah, I think there's so much power in knowing that it takes one yes, And on that as well, I guess something that comes up a lot is people seem to take things really personally. Like if someone hasn't got back to, whoever it is that's kind of doing the reaching out, they feel immediately like it's a personal attack on them. And I mean, there's so many other situations to consider. Like, do you have any kind of advice on how to not, be so connected and make it all about you and feel like, oh my God, it's because this person doesn't like me that they're not hitting me back or
I
something?
used to feel like that when I got denied or just not, no response. But I had to learn that it's a business, and you can't take it personal. You can't take it personal. I don't even care if you have a personal experience with the person that you're reaching out to. When it comes to business, you can't expect the same response, as if it was a personal issue between you and the person. You just can't take it personal and just keep it moving. It's business. Just like I said, you just need one yes. So if that person said no, hey, keep it moving. The next person might say yes. Yes, so
Yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, and as someone that's probably now getting reached out to by lots of people with lots of different things that they maybe want to talk to you about or work with you on, what do maybe you like to see when someone's reaching out to you, and what for you is like a definite like almost waste of your time to see?
I will start with the waste of my time. Like, just the artist, or when somebody is coming to me with something and they sound serious at first, but then they don't have anything to back up what they're saying or what they're trying to present to me, like just wasting my time, point blank, period.
Okay.
Just,
Yeah.
yeah, I just hate, wasting my time, period. I give everybody a chance or an opportunity because
Yeah.
I believe that everybody deserves a chance, or just an open ear. So I'm going to
Yeah.
listen. I'm going to respond, even if I have two words to say. Like, I'm going to say something if I choose to. But yeah,
Yeah.
other than just wasting my time, that's just it. But I like to take people serious who take themselves serious. That's what I can say. If you take yourself serious, I'm going to take you serious, and I'm going to try to believe in you just as much as you believe in yourself. Just I'm going to take a chance on you if I really believe in you, or we're building. But I like to see people reach out to me and hey, like, yo, I got the studio booked. It's on Tuesday. Can you meet me at 8 o'clock, man? I just need a session with you, just an hour of your time. I'm like, whoa, okay, you got the studio book, you got the time for me. Cool, man. I had no choice but to show up and see what we can do. But stuff like that just excites me. Just when the artist or the even if it's just a meeting about business, if the person is excited about telling me and wanting to share the information, I'm like, okay, I must need to hear this. Like, it might,
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
might
Yeah.
be something that I need to hear. Because why did you come to me about it? So I'm all ears with when people are excited about what sharing information or telling me something, trying to build.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah. So I guess, yeah, that's a good takeaway of, take yourself seriously if you want others to take you seriously. Otherwise, the whole thing feels like a bit of waste of everyone's time.
That's the only time people took
Um,
me serious, is when I started to take myself and my brand serious. That's when they started
yeah.
reaching out, like, and responding back. It's not just what I've done, but when they seen that, okay, he's serious about what he does. Let me see what's going on. That's when I got the responses that I wanted.
Okay, okay. That's good to know. And I guess you've sort of answered the next question, which, was just around people that feel that they don't have, uh, that much of value to offer, someone that they're reaching out to that has, has loads of credits or whatever it is. But it sounds like from what you're saying is that you don't need to see, loads of kind of background things that they're working on, but essentially just someone who's serious about what they're doing.
Right. Who takes their brand serious. Just, yeah, like I say, people can read through what they say, the BS, every time, and they really can see through stuff that's not real. So you gotta take yourself serious and believe in it and push it to the fullest potential that you possibly
Yeah.
can.
Yeah. No, that's awesome. And kind of coming a little bit back to your career, through, everything that's happened so far, what was for you the greatest highlight of your career where you really felt like, oh my God, this is something that you've achieved?
Experiences like this right now, just being able to tell my story, about my journey. Just when I'm doing interviews like this, is just a reminder, like, wait, hold up, I did that, I've done this. Like, I'm just used to just working, that I don't sit down and really reflect on the things that I've been through. But I'm just happy with the experiences, and seeing the awards, the plaques, it's cool. Like, I have plaques all over my apartment, all in my bathroom. Like, they're everywhere now.
That's when you know you've made it, backpack, when you have plaques in your bathroom.
I have so many plaques. Like, yes, they I have no more room. Like, The Eminem is on the floor. I have to pick it up. I have to put it up somewhere. But just reminders of that. Just being in the bathroom is a reminder. Like, man, I need more. I
Oh,
need
that's
more. I need
good.
a bigger place. I need more space. So
Clearly.
so those are all things that are recent. Like I just remember not having anything on the wall. So just looking back at things, not just the physical, but I remember having nothing, and now I do have a little something going on. So I'm just thankful for that. And then I just know that it's more. It's more. It's possible. It just opened up my eyes to see that, like, hey, it's possible if you set your mind on it. I can't tell you the time. We don't know the time and when it will happen, but if you keep working towards something, eventually it will come to you. And I know that firsthand, so I just apply that towards anything and everything that I do.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And you were saying about taking the time to reflect, and maybe you don't have the time to do that much. But how important would you say that is? Because sometimes I'm sure it feels really easy to be like, oh yeah, so here's another plaque, like next thing, sort of, and then it just becomes a bit of a grind without you really thinking, actually, I've come, a huge way from where I started. And would you say there's importance to reminding yourself that?
Yes, I see now it is very important to remind yourself of that because I mean, you're going to run into people who don't know you, who don't know what you've been through, and don't know your experiences. And not saying that you got to remind them, but you have to remind them, like, I am not the person you think I am. I've experienced this, I've done that, and just just letting know, letting people know you put in your time, and that's so important. Just you have to work towards anything, and that's on any job, especially if somebody's put in that time. You're not going to just come in there and just tell them what's going on and how to do things, because they have that experience, those hours. So it's just important.
For sure, for sure. And something that my mum always says, and I've found it to be actually really a useful thing, which, she always said, make sure you celebrate all the little wins. And I think I've been trying to do that more, even with something small that comes through that you're like, oh yes, like I'm so glad that worked out. Just marking that with, I don't know, like just going out and getting a coffee or something that, that you can just take a moment to relish that thing, because it can become really easy and then just make it all work really when you don't do that.
I'm celebrating this interview today as soon as we're done. I'm serious.
Nice.
Just yes, like the small wins, like the big ones.
Yeah.
You have to celebrate everything. Like just like I said, being able to tell my story and what I've experienced is just is such a blessing to be able to do that. Most people don't get to hear from me because I'm always working or I'm in the studio somewhere locked away. Like not I don't promote myself like that to just putting myself out there and just being on Instagram all day or on social media. Like that's just not me. But I'll sit down with you and talk and give you some game. I don't mind sharing information. That's a lot of people don't do that.
Yeah, excellent, excellent. So, we talk about the good times and that's all great. And, it's great to celebrate all that stuff. And can you tell me about a time that's been really challenging and how did you get yourself out of that?
With one of my records, I was going through a lawsuit back and forth with my old management team, and man, to have a record out that was doing real good and bringing in money, and I couldn't touch any of the money was just like just it had a hold on me, just like, man, I worked this hard to finally get something going, and then it's bringing in attention is bringing people my way, but I couldn't even focus on that because I was trying to get out of the situation that I was in, tangled up in. And it drained me mentally to the point where I couldn't even produce any records. I'm trying to make more beats, and I just was so drained to the point where I just had to take some time off. And I just kind of missed the whole celebration of that record charting and doing numbers. Like I had finally got a nice record out there, and I couldn't even celebrate. But while everybody else was celebrating, it's just me trying to get out of that situation. But seeing, being able to get out of the situation just opened up my mind to bigger and better things, because right after I got out of it, I was done and put the case to rest. I got more placements. I had begun to do more things, and then I was able to celebrate that, and it just gave me a whole new flame. Like, whoa, it's like I reinvented myself. Like, whoa, okay, let me take that downtime and that down period that I was in, and I just let it out in my music. I just started making, just trying to put my all into my music and just give it to people that way, and not just become a grimy person because of what I experienced, or treat people different because of I was being treated wrong at the time. You know how people can be, like they'll rub off on you because things are not looking up for them in their life, and I just wasn't trying to be that person. I wasn't trying to let my situation change me or become or change who I was. So to take that and turn it around and to finally, set myself free to where I became truly an independent producer at this point now, because I got rid of, the bad, and now look at me, like, look what you did. I'm just so happy that I was able to maneuver through some trying times and still be able to produce some hit records and make to continue to keep going. A lot of people, once they go through a legal battle, they're done. Like, if it's not the lawyer draining them with fees and just the ups and downs of, not knowing what's going to happen, that's just, it's mental. It's a mental game. I seen that firsthand. Like, the industry is all mental. You're going to have your ups. You're going to have your downs. But you gotta just be you through it all. Like, through it all. Through the good times and the bad times. Remain you, and you'll get through it all.
That's awesome. And yeah, it sounds like such a challenge. And a couple of things that I was thinking about as you were saying that, you said kind of lawsuits with management, and you were, you just kind of put out this amazing piece of work that was doing really well, and you couldn't celebrate in it. How would you, I guess, what have you learned from that you can take away? Is it to, I don't know, get a lawyer to kind of really go through all contracts before you sign them? What would you say to someone else to avoid that, what you went through?
Read everything and get a lawyer. I unfortunately had signed something trusting a friend. I thought it was my friend. He said, "Hey, it's good. You can sign this. You don't need a lawyer. I got a lawyer. The lawyer did it." That's what he told me. And I trusted my friend and didn't even look twice at it and just signed it, and did not know it, it would come back to, bite me. And it did. And now I know that I don't sign anything without my lawyer first. And after that situation, yeah, me and my lawyer, we just became a team. I'm like, look, whatever comes my way, you just look at it and, hey, I'll sign it once you tell me, it's good. And just building up, the trust with him over time. And I learned my lesson. It's sad to say I had to learn it the hard way, but I tell everybody now that's getting into the industry, yeah, man, get you a lawyer. I don't care if it's somebody that's, just be starting out as an entertainment lawyer, but make sure they know that lingo, that they can read that paperwork, that language, and translate it for you, because I mean it's stuff that you can read. You can sit down and read contracts, but do you understand the language, the terms, that you are signing away? You just want to make sure you're not giving away your publishing or giving away something that you can't get back. And that that's the main thing, making sure you don't sign something
Yeah.
away that you cannot get back.
Okay, so good lesson learned that I guess you'll never make that mistake again
Never.
thanks to these. Yeah.
Never.
Oh
Man,
gosh.
never.
And yeah, and I guess with that, you said that on the other side of that challenge seemed to be where so many new opportunities came about, and things were really starting to get going for you. So I don't know, would you say that someone else that's going through a time where they're just like, oh, like I'm done with this, that just to hang in there, because maybe right on the other side of that is going to be where things really change?
Yes, the grass is always greener on the other side. Just keep pushing, and sometimes you have to sit down and reinvent yourself, just rebrand and just think of new ways to present whatever you're trying to push. And even during this time, like right now with the COVID and everything, everybody's more chill and relaxed, but it seems like we, birth more entrepreneurs and more creatives than anything. It's like, it's some people I didn't even know they knew how to do certain things. Like, oh, wow, you know how to do that. But, during a time of, calm and just sitting back, you realize a lot of things. You get to open your eyes and try things and see, really see yourself in the mirror.
Okay. Okay. And what would be your biggest piece of advice for someone starting out in this industry?
Biggest advice, like I said, number one, get a lawyer. Find
Okay.
somebody that can give you some legal advice before you sign anything. That's the number one thing. Number
Yeah.
two, don't just be focused on the manager, because like I said, I hear that so much. I just need a manager. If I had a manager, I could take off. And if I had no, believe in yourself, trust yourself, make sure that you take care of your business, your legal business. I said that on the song trust panel. Just making sure you take yourself business by getting yourself started as a business, so you can start bringing in money and start your bank account, and just moving forward like that. Just, it's a process, and it's steps that you have to take and align yourself with first before you can make some big money or make money. And a lot of people don't get that or understand that. They think they could just jump in, sign a deal, and yeah, the money lands in the bank account. But no, do you have a bank account first for it to land in? Like, no, and just making sure you protect yourself too. A lot of people don't protect their name. They sign up with their name, and can't change it later, or the label owns it. So it's just making sure you do your homework and researching whatever you get into, whatever whatever role that you want to play in this industry. Make sure you research it and know what you're talking about. And a lot of it is just going to be hands-on experience. It's not going to be stuff in a book that you're going to find out, but it's a lot of good things in books. I do read music books. It's a lot of good business in music books that's out and available. So grab those and start there. Understand the business first, and understand that this is a business. Don't take it personal. Just follow the rules of the business. Play the game. Play the game.
Yeah. Love that. Love that. And yeah, I mean, what you were saying about, treating it like a business, opening a bank account, getting that structure set up or whatever it is. I think on top of actually making it, or making yourself available to generate those earnings or whatever through that, I think another really big part of it is just that tells you that you're going to take this seriously. Because, I think maybe when you don't do that and you're like, oh, it'll kind of all work out, then maybe in your head you sort of think that maybe it won't. So you're not bothering to go through all that as well. So yeah, so that's really great advice there. Thank you. And on the books, do you have any like top recommendations?
Do I have my books right here? It's the Music Business 101 book.
Music Business 101.
All you need to know
Ah,
about the music
yes.
business by Donald S. Passman. Yes, love this.
That's a
It's a
good
few
one.
issues.
Yes.
This is the 10th edition, and it's the industry Bible. It truly is.
Mm.
I can say that just opening this up and just going through it, just in no particular order. Just it talks about. I mean, the latest one talks about streaming, and that's the new game right now. So. Um,
Mm.
I would definitely recommend this book for anybody in the industry, music business. So again, it's all you need to know about the music business, the 10th edition by Donald S. Passman. And
Excellent.
yes, read. It's so important. Like
Okay.
so many people miss that with the industry.
Mm.
They just jump in, look at a few YouTubes, and they think they got it. They think they got it.
For sure, for sure. Yeah, no, thank you. Yeah, that's a good one. And from memory, I think one of the first things he tells you is to get a music lawyer before you get anything else.
It did, and that's where I got that from. Yes, that's exactly where I got that from. I'm
Yeah,
like,
yeah,
oh
yeah.
yeah, I started off wrong. I did not do the right thing when I started out.
Yeah. Okay. No, we all know now, so no one has an excuse after listening to this. So, yeah, go talk to a lawyer. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. That's been so lovely, Backpack, and I know I've gotten a lot out of this. And before I let you go, though, we have two audience questions. So one is from Ajax. So Ajax asked, "What DAW do you use, and do you have top 3 favorite plugins?"
Yes, shout out to Ajax. He follows me on Instagram. Shout out to him. My my favorite DAW to use is FL Studio. My 3 favorite plugins, my go-to Nexus, and then I'm learning to love my rolling racks. I have rolling racks, so that's more so like my live instruments, my trumpets and keyboards. I love the live sound, so those are my favorite go tos.
Nice. Okay, cool. Thank you. And then we have one last question by Sarah Jane. So Sarah asks, when reaching out to people in the industry, you might feel like you're sort of being or open to being taken advantage of, especially when you're starting out. What advice do you have for someone to balance keeping your integrity, but also showing that you're keen to learn without being kind of walked all over?
I would say it's a dirty game. It's a it's a tricky industry. I mean, that's with any workspace or any environment. It's it's gonna have its trickery. But first of all, don't let anyone take advantage of you, no matter what or what you're doing and who the person is. Always, keep your integrity and remain true to yourself and be you at all times. And I would just also say that even if it's somebody that you're working with and they're not respecting you, just hey, keep it moving. And that's with anybody. They got to respect you as a human first, and then respect you for making the moves that you're trying to make in the business or that room that you're in. And if they don't respect that, yeah, I got to keep it moving. It's just no time for that. No time for disrespect because this is a business and
Yeah.
you gotta keep it moving. You can't take it personal. Like I say, once the disrespect is there, they disrespect you. They're disrespecting your business, and that messes up your money. It's no time for that. You gotta keep it moving.
Thank you. I think that's excellent advice. And I think it's something, especially when you're starting out, you don't realize, or I know, early on in my career, I felt like I just had to deal with that, because I was like, oh, this person knows better than me. So I'm just going to, maybe allow myself to be treated in a way that I wasn't happy with. But I think after you learn to build your own confidence, you're like, oh, this is really not worth my time. And also, I think that gut feeling is never wrong. And when you feel that there's something not right here, I think just get out of that, because that's never ended well for me when I've kind of gone against that. So yeah, so thank you for sharing that. So keep your integrity and kind of keep moving through, and don't worry about the people that don't fit in there. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you so much, Backpack. It's been such a pleasure, and you know, lots of people are going to get loads out of this. And have you got? I guess you said everything seems to be night sessions over there. So is it just the start of the day for you?
Yeah, well, it's during the week, so it's the middle of the week. Nobody's called me. I actually canceled everything because I had this, so I told everybody to leave me alone today. Let me just focus on this, focus on this interview. Because if for real, if I would have put just one thing in my to-do list for today, it would have threw my whole day off. I would have been late for this, and yeah, that's just how it goes for me. So I'm not doing anything today. I'm celebrating this. Thank you so much for having me. It's been an honor, and I think women rock. So I love it. You know, I really do, especially in this industry. My lawyer is a female. My accountant is a female. If my manager could be a female, it would be. But I just, you know, I love that. You know, I think that it should be more women involved in the entertainment industry. Women know a lot and they can do a lot. They make a lot of things happen behind the scene. Even now, with a lot of big labels, people don't even know it's a lot of women, and they just don't get the shine or the spotlight like they supposed to.
All right. Well, I'll let you kind of take the rest of the evening off to celebrate, and I hope you have a good one. Bye.
All right. Thank you. Later.